Spain won 2 European championships and a World Cup with a system that had, on paper, no striker at all. No number 9, no target man, nobody whose entire job was to stand up front and finish. For 100 years, every coach on earth agreed, no striker, no goals. Spain broke that rule twice a decade apart, and the second time, in the summer of 2026, they did it while conceding almost nothing at all. Stick around, because the trick isn't who they left out. It's what that absence forces the other team to do, and by the end of this, you'll never watch a strikerless team the same way again. Here's how it actually works. Start with the job a striker is supposed to do. Stay high, stay wide of the defenders. Wait, finish. One player, one location, one purpose. Now here's the question that broke football for about a decade. What if the location matters more than the player? That's the false 9. Someone starts in the striker's spot, then vanishes from it the second the ball arrives, dropping into midfield like he's got somewhere better to be. Small change, enormous consequences. Here's why it works, and this is the part almost nobody explains properly. Defenders don't mark players. Not really. They mark space. A center-back's entire career is built around staying tight to whoever's standing in his zone. So take the striker out of the zone. Now the defender's got 2 options, and both are wrong. Option 1, follow him into midfield. Congratulations, you've just abandoned the back line, and there's a hole where you used to be standing. Option 2, stay put. Congratulations, you've just handed one of the best passers in the world the ball, in space, facing forward, with nobody within 10 yards of him. Follow, and you lose your position. Stay, and you lose the ball. There is no correct answer. That's not an accident. That's the entire design. This idea is older than you'd think, and the first team it ever humiliated was England at Wembley in 1953, a ground where they hadn't lost to anyone from outside the British Isles, ever. Hungary's center forward, Nandor Hidekuti, simply refused to play like a center forward. He kept dropping deep, and England's defenders spent 90 minutes doing the one thing you're never supposed to do on a football pitch, guessing. Hidekuti scored a hat-trick. Hungary won 6-3, and English football spent years pretending it hadn't happened. Barcelona picked the idea back up decades later, for a very specific reason. They had a forward who was devastating with the ball, but not exactly built to bully center-backs Lionel Messi. So Pep Guardiola pulled him deep, let Xavi and Iniesta feed him from midfield, and sent Thierry Henry and Samuel Eto'o sprinting into the space Messi left behind. In 2009, Barcelona won 6 trophies in one calendar year. Messi won the Ballon d'Or. The false 9 stopped being a trick. It became doctrine. Which brings us to the moment everything from the last 4 minutes has been building toward. The 2012 European Championship Final. Spain versus Italy. 0 recognized strikers in the starting lineup. Cesc Fabregas, a midfielder, not a finisher, played the false 9, with David Silva and Iniesta orbiting around him like nobody had told them the striker position was supposed to be occupied. Italy's back line spent the entire match trying to answer a question with no right answer. Final score, 4-1. Still the biggest winning margin in the history of that final. Spain won a major trophy without a single player whose job title was goalscorer. And here's the twist that most highlight reels skip entirely. It was never really about Fabregas. It was about the hole he left. Every time he dropped, he either dragged a defender with him opening a gap, or he didn't, and got the ball completely unmarked. Either outcome fed Silva, Iniesta, or Jordi Alba a lane straight through the defense. One clever player wasn't the system. The empty space he created was the system. No fixed striker, no fixed marker, no way for a defense to ever settle. Now here's where it gets interesting again, because this isn't a history lesson, it just happened. New Jersey, July 2026. Spain, world champions again, beating Argentina 1-0 after extra time, Ferran Torres scoring in the 106th minute. But look at the number that actually matters. Across the entire tournament, Spain conceded 1 goal. 1. The most defensively dominant champion in World Cup history, and they didn't get there by parking a giant striker up front and hoping Rodri ran the game from midfield. Lamine Yamal and Dani Olmo drifted through exactly the pockets of space Fabregas was exploiting 14 years earlier. Different names. Same hole in the defense. Whether you liked watching it or not, it happens anyway. The team that controls the space wins more often than the team that just stands in it. So here's the whole idea, back together, one more time. A striker was never really valuable for the goals. He was valuable for the defender he occupied, full stop. Take away the fixed spot, and you take away the one certainty defending is built on. Hungary stumbled into that by accident in 1953. Guardiola weaponized it on purpose with Messi. Spain perfected it on the sport's biggest stage in 2012 and did it again in 2026 with a different generation without ever needing a traditional number 9 to lift the trophy. They didn't remove the striker's job. They just made it impossible to mark and let the chaos that caused do the scoring for them. The game didn't change. You did. You're welcome. Subscribe if you liked this. It really means a lot.